Some people collect coins, some people collect stamps, people collect all kinds of things. I also like to collect a few things, which apparently one of them somehow ended up being compressors. Because, you know, obviously I don't have enough special interests as it is. So I thought I'd just make a video showing off some of the compressors that I have and why. And how I ended up getting here. And what we're looking at right here is kind of, not the start, but I guess where I started getting ideas, because this Husky compressor right here with this compressor head right there, I literally found on the side of the road. Like, it was on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere, and it looked like the head had broken off of it, even though it didn't. So I picked it up, brought it home, tested it, it still worked, and figured I was going to upgrade everything here. And I was going to put this one back, and then I broke the fan, and I know it doesn't matter much at all, but I didn't want to put this fan back in. And then, so I ended up actually finding a fan that's suitable. I just drill out the hole and shove it on the end, and that'll work. But I wanted to actually put a better compressor on this tank with all this other gear up here. And I wanted to use this one, which is an oil-filled compressor, and it has a slightly bigger bore on it than this one does. Not by a huge margin, but it's a little bit bigger. So I wanted to put a better compressor head on this one. And I've also got parts here that hooks it up so I can actually use it as an air pig as well. So like, this was supposed to be basically a mobile shop compressor for wheeling around a big yard where there's vehicles and stuff out back, and you need a bunch of air to fill a big tire, and you know, you don't want to run back and forth turning it on and off. You can just hook it up to a larger system and have it filled up without having to run the compressor on it. But I haven't gotten around to that yet. And what we have here is just a bunch of parts and pieces, air regulators, gauges, just various pieces, air filter and oilers, little tiny 12-volt compressor that I don't know what I was going to do with that. And then I got that one right there, which is a Webster, built right here in my hometown. And that came on a tank, and it was still working, but the motor was kind of crap and the tank was crap, so I just wanted the compressor anyway. It was only like 20 bucks, because I was going to put that one on my truck, because I wanted to kind of build out a bit of a service truck, but you know, that never came to fruition. At least not yet, because it's not really financially in the cards, and mostly I don't actually have anywhere to work or do any welding or things like that, so that's why I haven't really done anything with the truck sort of thing. But I did want to clean that up and rebuild it a bit. And then I've got this one over here, which I've got both parts too, and it works. There's the top half of the compressor part right there, and I actually really love this Ridgid compressor. It works great, it served me well, but I'll be damned, you know, they call it portable, but this thing is so damn heavy, even when it's taken apart in two pieces, it's barely what I'd consider portable. But it's actually been a really good compressor for me, you know, as long as you maintain it. And I got a little 2-gallon compressor tank there, which is for, you can't really see it, but there's a box of train horns right back there that I'm going to use with that tank. And then I actually ended up getting for free a 12-volt truck compressor, or car compressor, I guess, rather, whatever. It's not very powerful and not for like extended use, but that's why I wanted to use the bigger blue one there. But so I got that, and I got that working. It just had a simple little valve problem that needed an adjustment. And then there's a cooler back there in that cardboard box. There's a like a heat exchanger that I was going to put on this one, but I might use it differently now. Maybe I might still put it on this one. And so yeah, there's that. And then I got this little air tank here, which I've been using as an air pig, which has been handy if I need it. That's actually where that oiled pump came from, right there. And then I've got this one in here in my closet, which I got for free and fixed. And it works, and I've been using that basically as a portable one because it actually is light and portable and works pretty well. I just wanted to add here as well, because I forgot about this. This cart that this compressor is sitting on and this tank is sitting beside, I had also intended on, or intend to, turn this into a mobile compressor cart with maybe a couple other things on it. I was going to put bigger wheels on it, and there's a hose reel right back there I was going to stick on it. Probably the extension cords in some way, and I just haven't really been able to do that yet. Again, mostly this one comes down to money and not having anywhere to work, because I can't weld this or weld anything in here. I've got a little welder back there too, but I can't weld in my apartment and I have nowhere to weld, so that's a bit of an issue. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with this cart at one point. You know, we'll see how things go. Maybe I figure things out a little down the road, but that's just another one of the compressor projects. I think I'd originally planned on kind of doing it with this one, but then I got these other components like that, and I have this compressor which is not so portable, so that's, yeah, one of the other projects. And then the one that I actually really am fascinated with for a lot of different reasons is one that I got when I was working doing RV repair shortly after I started. They wanted to get rid of this massive 15 horsepower Webster air compressor. This thing is 30 CFM at, I believe, 100 or maybe 90 psi. I think it's 30 CFM, and it was making funny noises. Turned out just to be the motor and stuff in the end. So it sat around for quite a while, a couple years, and then just before I got let go from there, I asked if I could have this, and they said yeah. So I took the compressor off of it, and because I want to restore this, I want to bring this back. And I've got all these parts of it sitting here. It's got a little bit of run out in the shaft from being dropped, and it's unbelievable the abuse this thing took when it was going to be garbage. They were going to put it in scrap, and it was dropped with its tank and everything a couple of times, and it was tried to crush into the bin before it had to be taken out. And that's when I was like, hey, can I maybe take that, you know? And of all the dropping, no damage came to this thing at all, except for that little bit of shaft run out, and that was actually caused by me when I was getting it out and I accidentally dropped it with this big ass flywheel on here. But if I'm not mistaken, all together this compressor is, I believe it's about 350 pounds or 380 pounds or something. So yeah, that's I think that's just about all the compressors that I have and what I was going to do with them. But I've got another video about this on the channel. I'll link to that somewhere, probably up in this corner maybe. You can check that out. It's basically just talking about the compressor and showing it before it was taken apart and running a little bit and what it was doing when it was running. So yeah, you can see that whole video and see the beast in action. Because personally, I don't know, I'm fascinated with this compressor all around. I don't really know why, but I am. And I'm kind of just fascinated by compressors as a whole. I don't know, they just kind of, it's interesting how they do what they do, the various different ways that they can be built. And, you know, especially when I see something like this, that this is also a Webster, built in my hometown, is 49 years old, 50 years old, I think, from the date stamp on it or something, and was running like right up until the day that it was removed. And even at one point, somebody had something bouncing around, something got sucked in and bounced around in the chamber, and they fixed it by, yeah, I guess they like smoothed that out a bit, and this was still going, and there's no damage to the cylinder walls. One tiny little mark that I don't really think is even significant, but I've considered honing out. But that's for a different video. But yeah, this thing, it's fascinated the hell out of me. So I definitely want to get it cleaned up and put back together. One of my biggest obstacles with that is it's a really big compressor. And I'm on a 3rd-story apartment. I don't really have anywhere to store a fully assembled 380-pound compressor. So that's been kind of one of my limiting factors a little bit with this. But there's still a lot that I can do, like taking the paint off it and whatnot. Like I said, that's for another video altogether. I just kind of wanted to, you know, go over all the compressors that I have for all of the reasons that I have them. Yeah, you guys are, you know, if you've watched this far and this is interesting, you want to see some of these projects, then like, share, comment, subscribe. I know you hear it from everybody, but as a small channel, as a small creator, that really helps me a lot in standing out in the flood of all of these giant channels and all of these really professional videos where I'm just here trying to, you know, do a couple of things and hoping some people see it. Maybe they're interested, maybe it helps them. The only reason I haven't done this mainly is just because, I don't know, I haven't really figured out a way that I want to mount that to that and plumb it all up. But again, like I said, you know, if there's interest, I might be motivated to get going on it. So, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.